Hello and welcome to News at Noon on African News 24 TV, where the world comes to Africa. I'm Miriam bringing you the latest news stories. It appears the killings in Benue State may have become a one-day occurrence. This is as suspected terrorists have again killed 5 people in a fresh attack on a Tobi community in Otukpo local government area of the state. This time, among the victims is a former candidate of the People's Democratic Party for Otukpo-Akpa State constituency in the 2019 election, Igbabeochi. According to an eyewitness, the attack happened at about 1:30 this morning. It follows a Sunday night kidnapping attempt at Ekwora Daba in Otobi, which was followed by community volunteer guards. According to sources, the community may have been singled out for attacks by suspected herdsmen over the killing of some persons in April of 2025. When contacted, the president of Otobi Community Development Association, John Anyebe, said the attackers came through the railway station bridge from the Ijami part of Otobi and headed to where the victims were sitting not far from the transformer junction. The Rivers State government has ordered a full-scale investigation into allegations of extortion and examination malpractice at the Rivers State College of Nursing Sciences in Port Harcourt. The probe follows complaints of money for marks, sale of examination questions, and marking schemes, and demands for payment before project topics are approved. Health Commissioner Dr. Daisy Ore announced the suspension of the head of department linked to the allegations and the constitution of an investigative committee chaired by Professor Chizindu Aliko, Chief Medical Director of Rivers State University or Teaching Hospital. The committee will conduct a forensic audit of the year 2 second semester examinations and review academic and financial practices within the institution. A dramatic turn of events has unfolded in Rivers State as 2 lawmakers withdraw their support for the impeachment move against Governor Siminalayi FUBARA, citing appeals from respected stakeholders. The minority leader Sylvanus Nwankwo and Peter Abe, who represent Degema constituency, announced a change of heart during a press briefing in Port Harcourt on Monday. They urged their colleagues to host the impeachment process and explore alternative means of resolving the crisis. Governor FUBARA, who had earlier expressed confidence in God's protection, stated that he had not received any notice of impeachment, contradicting claims by the Rivers State House of Assembly. The development has heightened tensions in the state, with FUBARA's predecessor, Nyesom Wike, now the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, saying President Bola Tinubu can sack him if he no longer has anything to offer. The impeachment proceedings initiated by 26 lawmakers allege gross misconduct against FUBARA and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Oju. However, the 2 defecting lawmakers appealed for restraints, citing the need for peace and stability in the state. The Oyo State Governor, MAKINDE, has cautioned voters to be wary of politicians making lofty but unrealistic promises as the 2027 general elections approach. MAKINDE emphasized the importance of critically evaluating politicians' pledges, stating that presidents should expect continuity in governance beyond 2027. The governor's warning stems from concerns over the recurring circles of unfulfilled promises and voters' manipulation. Many politicians promise democratic dividends during campaigns, but fail to deliver basic amenities like security, healthcare, and education once in office. MAKINDE's administration has focused on development and welfare, and he expressed confidence that a member of his team would succeed him and sustain the policies and programs in place. He also urged residents to prioritize security, emphasizing collective responsibility in protecting lives and property. Tensions are running high in Osun State as the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressives Congress engage in a bitter struggle for control of local government secretariats. The dispute has led to violence, with reports of gunfire and injuries in several areas, including Boluwaduru and Anorunda local government areas. The conflict stems from a Court of Appeal judgment that reinstated previously sacked APC chairmen and councillors. The APC interprets this as a mandate to reclaim control of the local government, while the PDP-led state government argues that a prior federal high court decision nullified the elections that brought these officials to power. The APC has accused the PDP of trying to undermine the court ruling, while the PDP claims the APC is attempting to hijack the local governments through violence and intimidation. Civil society groups have also weighed in, accusing the APC of illegally occupying the secretariats and calling on the police to intervene. The situation has disrupted public services, with many local government offices remaining closed due to safety concerns. The police have been deployed to hotspots to prevent further escalation, and residents have been urged to remain calm. The Osun state government has accused its predecessor, now Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyega Oyetola, of orchestrating the unrest. The APC, however, denies these allegations, claiming the PDP is trying to suppress the court ruling. The federal government has ordered immediate commencement of palliative works on the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway to address critical failures and restore traffic flow. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, gave the directive during an inspection of the highway linking Lagos and Ogun States on Monday, January 12, 2026. Umahi said although about 22 kilometers were assessed, active intervention would focus on about 18 kilometers of the most distressed sections of the road. Umahi said the federal government was already handling about 60 kilometers on the corridor, and they were being executed in phases based on urgency. He attributed the road's failure to unresolved concession issues and misjudged engineering parameters during an earlier construction. The minister added that the repair would begin immediately, mostly at night, targeting sections that prevented free movement of vehicles. The Akran of Badagry, His Royal Majesty Dewenu Aholu Menu-Toyi I, has passed away at the age of 89, marking the end of a remarkable 48-year reign on the throne. The revered monarch died on Monday, January 12, 2026, after a brief illness. Tributes have poured in from government officials, traditional rulers, and residents, describing the late Akran as a father figure, a symbol of unity, and a custodian of Badagry's rich cultural heritage. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State declared 7 days of mourning, praising the Akrans' wisdom, commitment to cultural preservation, and advocacy for Badagry's development. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo described the Akran as an apostle of inter-ethnic understanding and cohesion, inter-religious accommodation and tolerance, and intercultural cooperation. President Bola Tinubu also paid tribute, saying the Akran's passing marks the loss of a custodian of history and a bridge between tradition and modern Nigerian society. He commended the monarch's role in preserving Badagry's historical significance, particularly its place in the transatlantic slave trade. A total of 95 individuals, comprising 94 princes and 1 princess, have thrown their hats into the ring for the vacant AWUJALE stool, the paramount ruler of Ijebu-land, following the demise of Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono, who reigned for 65 years. The aspirants, all members of the Fusebunwa ruling house, were nominated at a meeting held at Bisrod Hall, GRA, Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State on Monday. Among them are notable figures such as Giwa Abiodun Onuga, husband of a former deputy governor of Ogun State, Dr. Kunle Hassan, a renowned ophthalmologist, and Otumba Fatai Arowo of Aaron Construction. The only female contestant is Princess Oluwakemi Ononuga, a lawyer. The names of the aspirants have been forwarded to the FUBARA, that is the kingmakers, for screening, and one candidate will be selected and forwarded to the Ogun State government for approval. The process has been marked by controversy, with some members alleging exclusion and protests. Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as Kwamwon, had sought to participate but was ruled ineligible by the Fusegbunwa family. And in business news, Nigeria's fuel import bill has witnessed a significant decline, dropping by 54% to $6.7 billion. This substantial reduction is attributed to the increased production capacity of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, which has been operating at near full capacity since late 2024. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria spent $1.2 billion on petrol imports in the first quarter of 2025, down from $2.6 billion in the same period last year. This marks the lowest quarterly import bill since 2020 and reflects the growing impact of domestic refining on the country's fuel supply structure. The Dangote refinery, with an installed capacity of 650,000 barrels per day, has been instrumental in reducing Nigeria's reliance on importing fuel. The refinery's output has helped to reduce the country's daily petrol imports from 44.6 million liters in August 2024 to 14.7 million liters by April 2025. The Nigerian government has also imposed a 15% import duty on petrol and diesel to support local refiners and reduce dependence on imported fuel. This move is expected to further boost domestic refining and reduce the country's fuel import bill. As Nigeria continues to ramp up its refining capacity, the country is poised to become a net exporter of refined petroleum products, potentially transforming its energy landscape and conserving foreign exchange. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to launch airstrikes on Iran, saying it's on the table as the country's security forces continue to crack down on anti-government protests, resulting in at least 648 deaths. The White House confirmed Trump is weighing military options, including airstrikes, amid escalating violence in Iran. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi responded, saying the country is not seeking war, but is fully prepared for war. He emphasized Iran's readiness for negotiations, but stressed they must be fair and based on mutual respect. The protests, sparked by economic hardship, have spread across Iran's 31 provinces, with millions demanding political change and an end to the Islamic Republic's rule. The U.S. has imposed a 25% tariff on countries doing business with Iran, further straining tensions. Trump has warned Iran's leaders that the U.S. will intervene if protesters are targeted, saying, "We will hit them at levels that they've never been hit before." The situation remains volatile, with Iran warning of retaliation against any attack. Welcome to sports. The Super Eagles of Nigeria have begun their preparations for the highly anticipated semi-final encounter against Morocco at the Africa Cup of Nations AFCON 2025, with a closed-door training session at the complex Mohammed in Rabat. The session, which kicked off at 6 p.m. local time, saw the players and coaching staff arrive from Fez, where they had a recovery session on Sunday following their 2-0 quarterfinal win over Algeria. The media will have access to the first 15 minutes of the team's next training session on Tuesday, ahead of the big match against Morocco on Wednesday at the Prince Moulay Hassan Stadium in Rabat. The Super Eagles are looking to secure a spot in the AFCON 2025 final, and the preparations have been intense, with coach Eric Chell emphasizing the need for tactical precision and discipline. Video assistant referee (VAR) errors have increased in the first half of the Premier League season, according to analysis of data from the league's independent key match incidents panel by BBC Sports. The panel recorded 13 VAR errors, a 30% rise from the same stage last season, though still fewer than the 20 and 23 errors logged in the previous two campaigns. The report shows that most of the mistakes this season were missed interventions, where VAR failed to alert referees to incorrect decisions, while wrongly made interventions declined slightly. Overall, VAR overturns also fell by nearly 18%, reflecting the league's continued emphasis on only intervening in clear and obvious errors. The errors occurred across several high-profile matches, including missed red cards, unawarded penalties, and incorrect disciplinary calls involving clubs such as Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Manchester City. The findings have once again raised questions about consistency in officiating, despite ongoing efforts to improve VAR accuracy in the Premier League. In entertainment, Nollywood superstar Funke Akindele has made history with her latest film, Behind the Scenes, which has grossed over 2.1 billion naira at the box office, making it the highest grossing Nollywood film of all time in Africa. The film, which was released in December 2025, has broken multiple records, including the highest single-day gross on Boxing Day with 129.5 million naira. Akindele's achievement solidifies her position as West Africa's highest-grossing filmmaker, writer, director, and producer of all time. Behind the Scenes has also become the top-grossing Nollywood release in the United Kingdom and Ireland, further cementing Akindele's global influence. The film's success is attributed to its relatable storyline, all-star cast, and advanced screening. Renowned Nigerian music executives and Kenny's music founders, Kenny Keke Ogungbe and Dayo Diwon Adeneye, have dedicated their Afriman Lifetime Achievement Award to the late media mogul, Chief Raymond Dokpesi, as well as Africa Independent Television Ray Power, and millions of Kenny's music fans across Africa and the diaspora. The duo made the dedication while receiving the prestigious honor at the All Africa Music Awards in recognition of the decades-long contribution to the growth, commercial success, and global promotion of African music. Speaking at the event, Keke and Diwon described the award as more than a personal achievement, noting that it symbolized the power of visionary partnership, institutional support, and loyal audiences that helped shape Africa's entertainment industry. They specifically acknowledged the late Chief Raymond Dokpesi and Dar Communications for providing platforms that amplified African voices, nurtured creative talent, and promoted indigenous content at a time when local music struggled for mainstream acceptance. In addition, the award recipients called on the Nigerian government to formally recognize pioneers of the entertainment industry with national honors, stressing that such recognition would inspire younger generations and affirm the cultural and economic value of the creative sector. And that will be all on this hour. Stay tuned for more updates on the stories and others on our website at africanews24.ng and follow us on all our social media platforms to stay informed and ahead. I'm Mary Adams. See you at 3 p.m. Good afternoon.